Ladies and gentlemen, every school, no matter where it is, was built with the purpose to educate and to accept children from all backgrounds. Yet, some of us may still ask, why are some families still paying for their child's education? Education is not a luxury. It is a basic human right. It is not only for the brightest or the most talented. Every child, regardless of their abilities and circumstances, deserves the chance to grow and learn. Childhood should be spent in classrooms because education is the foundation to a better future. It equips our young people with the tools they need to succeed in adulthood and opens up doors of opportunities they may never have imagined. But when a child grows up to become someone uneducated, we have to face an unacceptable reality. It is time to make education free and accessible to all for the sake of the world's future. But before we go any further, what is education? Education is not just simply the transfer of knowledge from one person to another. Education can be the shaping of the mind, the nurturing of potential, and the building of the person's ability to think, to speak, to solve problems, and to understand the world around them. Some might say that education is unnecessary for success. Sure, there are those rare stories of some people that make it big without formal education. But let's be honest, those are the exceptions and not the rules. The truth is that an uneducated person, an average uneducated person, is more likely to struggle and face hardships. Without education, they lack the skills and understanding to lead to success. Though there are some parents who don't prioritize education, there are still some parents who actually do prioritize education, enrolling their children in school, classes, and extracurriculars. They invest in their child's future, knowing that education is the key to a prosperous life. But why should this be a privilege only to those who can afford it? Every child, no matter their background, should have the same access to educational opportunities, reducing inequality, giving every young person a fair start. There are arguments against free education, of course. Some worry that free schooling would reduce the quality of education, that resources would be stretched and teachers would be underpaid. Yes, these are concerns we must address, but they should not be the excuses to deny children their right to learn. The reality is that we live in a world where the governments collect billions in taxes. Shouldn't education, one of the more critical investments we can make in our society, be prioritized? It is unfortunate that today, over 260 million children are not in school. Many of them coming from low-income families, some of them sacrificing their education to support their families. This is especially true for less developed countries, where poverty and population growth puts an enormous strain on education systems. As a result, we now face a global crisis. Over 700 million adults are illiterate, 250 million people are unemployed, and 150 million are homeless. The cost of denying education is far too great. This is not just about young children. We need to extend free education to teenagers and young adults. After all, the world demands higher levels of education. High school is no longer enough. College and universities have become essential for many careers, yet they remain out of reach for millions due to high tuition costs. This must change. Imagine the world where every country is filled with well-educated citizens, where knowledge flows freely and opportunities are abundant. Imagine how many of the world's biggest challenges, such as poverty, unemployment, and inequality, could be reduced if every child received the education they deserved. Education is not just important, it is essential. It is time for us to stand up and make education free for all. Thank you.